Would I still have started my lash business knowing what I know now? I don't know. You're just gonna have to watch to the very end to find out. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 7 things I wish I knew before starting my lash business. And yes, I will be explaining this right now because I know you're wondering, why am I wearing this? This is for wrist pain. Going into an eyelash extension business and becoming a lash artist, you're going to be using your wrists a lot and probably in the way that you are not supposed to. I think this is something that a lot of people don't talk about in the industry because maybe they're going to be training down in the future and they don't want their students to think that they're having lash wrist pain. But really, let's be honest, like if you're going into lashing, I'm sure you've thought about, will this cause me joint pain in the future? And I guess I just want to be honest with you guys and share my experience with it so that you can have a true account of what it's like to be a lash artist and having lashed for 3 years and where my wrist pain is at right now. With lashing, although you try to compose your body in a way where it's going to prevent any injuries and strain and you're being ergonomically aware of your body, it's still hard when you're doing this day in, day out, maybe like 7 hours a day or something. And so over time, I would say around the 2.5 mark of my career lashing, like part-time to full-time, I developed really bad wrist pain to the point where I've questioned whether or not I would be able to lash. I started doing more of like an ice, hot and cold therapy thing. And so that's why I had this thing. I had a different thing that goes around here. It's a little bit like a brace, and I've worn this for quite a bit. And so this was like months of just trying to reduce my strain, but it happened. And that's what I want you guys to understand going into lashing, is that it can happen to you too. So my wrist pain did get better. I have no pain currently. I do have little like cracks in my wrists now and then, and it freaks my husband out. But overall, my pain has gone away. Now, I'm sure it would come back in some shape or form if I did start lashing, but it's never been to the extreme where I'm like, I think I need surgery. I've never taken like Advil or Tylenol for my pain. I kind of like to just do more prevention than just symptom management of it. So some things that you could do is maybe do other things that you could add on as services, such as doing a lash lift where you're not having to be there all the time just to attach lashes. I think that would greatly reduce the risk of injuring your wrists. So the second thing that I wish that I knew before starting my lash business was that you're going to be working more than 40 hours a week. But let's be real, when you're a one-woman show and you are a business owner, you wear all the hats, okay? You are doing the bookkeeping, you're your secretary, your customer service rep, a marketer, a social media manager, you're doing all the things. And what that means is that when you're lashing, you're trading time for money, but you need to do things to market your business, to sell your services, for people to find out about you, and to also keep clients coming back. And that's all up to you. If you started your lash business thinking that you're going to have so much free time with your family and your friends in the beginning of your business, you are not going to have that until you streamline your processes. You know what you're doing. Maybe you've hired some people out to now help you with a lot of those tasks. Then and only then will you have more free time for other things in your life. So be sure that if you start your lash business, you're going to be in it probably more than you like. The important thing is that you have boundaries. You have your personal life and you have your work life, and yes, they're going to coincide, but you really need to make sure that you are devoting time to both. And the third thing that I wish I knew was that it can get really lonely being a business owner. Thing is, you don't have any chummy coworkers that you can go to lunch with and socialize. So if you're somebody who's like a social butterfly and you just thrive on being in relationships with people, then this might be a little challenging for you. Now, when I was a nurse, I loved having coworkers, but I also hated having like people who I did not get along with. So I love that aspect of it. There's no one that I need to ask permission of, to ask questions, to get their feedback. It's just me. But again, it can get very lonely, and having lash clients definitely helps, but I still try to keep that relationship pretty professional. And so that's the thing. When you're a lash artist, don't just be in your own bubble. I think it's cool if you like reach out to other lash artists and whoever's like in the beauty industry and just become friends. I think that's helped me a lot, and I know if you did that too, it would help you. The fourth thing that I wish I knew is that the road to growth is very bumpy and hard. Honestly, I'm not sure what I expected. I kind of thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna start my lash business and then the growth is gonna be like this, like super linear. But to be honest, it is nothing like that. Some days I will be like on top of the world. I know what I'm doing. I have everything in place and my growth is like, phew. And then another time I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I feel that I have to start all over again when it comes with like marketing my services or like branding. I think it's just that you have so much control that you want to try all the things and you're just trying to figure things out. So things aren't going to be linear and you're going to have to be okay with that. Being a business owner, it's kind of like a game. And to be honest, some people just play the game better. But the thing is, if you're someone like me who doesn't have a business background, you don't know anything about marketing, then I think it totally makes sense that your growth is going to feel more like this, like a roller coaster. But honestly, I just don't think that really should deter you. I think it just should be expected. All right, I'm picking you guys up for this one because this is important. The fifth thing that I wish I knew was that you're gonna get in your own way like a lot. Honestly, I don't know who says this, but I'm sure someone does. The fastest way to get to know yourself is by becoming a business owner. And the reason for that is because you're gonna be faced with so many challenges. You're gonna be faced with your own insecurities. You're gonna be judging yourself. You're going to be making crappy excuses that is not going to be anyone else's fault but your own. So you should just know that there's a lot riding on you, and it's really up to you to face yourself and to grow so that your business can grow, because you're making smarter decisions and you're not getting in your own way. Even now, 3 years into my business, I'm still facing all of the things that I just mentioned. But you know what? I honestly would not trade it for the world, because I personally feel like I have grown so much faster because I've had to ask myself very hard questions over and over and over again, and that has made me feel more fulfilled in life. All right, guys, stick with me because we're almost there. Number 6 is that I wish I knew that business will be your top priority, especially when you're just starting out. One of the reasons why I left nursing to become a lash artist was because I wanted to spend more time with my friends and family. And for the most part, I do, because I am not working the holidays, I don't have to miss weddings, and I can be home a lot more. But the thing is that even though I'm home and I'm in the same room as like my husband, I'm thinking about my business. I'm on my laptop, I'm working, I'm on my phone, I'm on Instagram, and it doesn't really feel like that quality time that he wanted to spend with me. And that's not how I view quality time as well. And for the longest time, I would make excuses like, yeah, but I have to work. I'm a business owner. Who's going to do it if I don't do it? And again, this is where the boundaries have to come in. I think it helps if you create a time schedule where it's like, okay, 6 o'clock, I'm clocking out. So something to consider is if you have a family or you have a lot of responsibilities, like people that you need to take care of, I think starting a business could be a really big undertaking for you. At the time, I was married, but we have no children, and it was just a really good time for me to do something like this. But just know that business is going to be on your mind a lot, and it's up to you to create those boundaries with your business. By the way, let me know which of the points that I've talked about scares you the most. Is it that you will have to prioritize business? Is it because you're lonely and you need people around? Or is it because you're afraid you're gonna get in your own way? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, and the final thing that I wish I knew before starting my business is that profits matter the most. It doesn't matter how much money is coming in. It matters how much profit you're making off of the revenue. So if your expenses are low and your revenue is high, that's a good profit margin. A book that I would recommend is Profit First by Michalowicz. I think that's how you say it. I'll drop a link below so you can check it out, but I highly recommend this book because it really drives home that at the end of the day, when you are a business owner, you need to put yourself and your business first and not taxes and not anything else. And honestly, if there's something that the pandemic has taught me is that you need to be saving because you just never know what's gonna happen, like this crazy pandemic. So even if you have to get a piggy bank, this is totally not a piggy bank, but just pretend this is the modern girl's piggy bank and drop like 10% of your paycheck into this, I think that's a really good start and you're gonna be so much better off in the future if something again like this arises. Would I have started my lash business knowing what I know now? 110%. I think despite all of the challenges that I've gone through in my lash business, everything has been so worth it. It's been so rewarding and I would not have changed anything except maybe the road becoming less bumpy and me not getting my own way. But I don't want you to be discouraged if this is something that you're thinking about. If there's any deal breakers in the things that I've talked about, then you really need to think about it. And I'm hoping by watching this video that you would have saved some time and money if now you think that lashing isn't for you. Because let's be real, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. So think about what you got going on in your life. If you're in a time and space right now in your life where you can concentrate and focus all on your business, because that's really how your business is going to flourish, is when you can put 100% into it. So in next week's video, I'm going to talk about everything that you need to know about eyelash extensions. This may or may not be relevant to you if you are a lash artist, but I do want to talk about eyelash extensions on this channel. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions for videos that you want me to create, and then I will think about creating them. So before you go, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of next week's video, and I will see you next week. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.